Congratulations, Gary. A vital 3 points today.
Yeah, needed. You know, we've had a little bit of frustration over the last 2 or 3 weeks, and of course it was a frustration day last week at Salisbury. But you know, we knew it'd be tough here today. Boreham Wood have done very well, certainly at home this season. Beat Welling, Dartford, Dover here, so we knew it was going to be a tough test for us. But you know, we've come through it. Thoroughly deserved to win. I think that 1-0 at half time. Very much in control of the first half, and on another day probably could have been 2 or 3 up. But you know how it goes. You know, it's football, and you're dominating the game, and you know all of a sudden out of nothing they're in the game at 1-0. They haven't been killed off or punished. They get an equaliser, and after what we've, as I say, been through a frustrating time over the last 2 or 3 weeks, you're waiting to see how the response comes. But even more so than when you have a free kick, and you know the Joe McNerney one, it's the post and goes along the line, and 1 or 2 decisions go against you, and they're still playing with 11 players, and you think it's going to be one of them days. But you know, well, the game was stretched, and we made 1 or 2 decisions, and it came up trumps. Luke Medley done well, got behind them, pulled the ball back well, and pleased to Mosey down the motor. And I'll say, very pleased to go on and win the game.
And you look particularly unhappy about the goal that we conceded against Boreham Wood today.
Yeah, you're always going to be frustrated. I thought on the edge of the box, I think we could have done better in respect of the challenge there, and all of a sudden the ball's got worked. It looks like it's behind Joe McNerney, the lad's got behind him, great ball back, but it's a disappointing goal from our point of view, not pointing out and singing out in the individuals, but you know, I just felt that we could have done better and dealt with it better, the situation there. But as I say, we've gone on and won the game, and I think that when you get this time of the season and you've had that little area of blips or a little bit of inconsistency lately, where you know we've only took 10 points out of the last 18, which people go, well, it ain't that bad, you know. But when you've had the run what we've had for so long, you lose 1 game out of 24, and all of a sudden in the last 6 games before today, you win 3 and draw 1 and lose 2. That looks enormous, really. Looks like everything's going wrong. But you know, we've got the 3 points here today, and the other teams behind us are all chasing, working hard, and of course it's another game gone.
And you decided to start with Mo today rather than say Luke Medley. Was that a difficult decision?
Not really, because with the greatest respect to Luke, he's not played himself or started a game since September. Which I'll talk to you about in a week, so we knew we had 1 or 2 things to sort out, and of course September's 4.5 months, and you know, I've been told and talked to 1 or 2 people that he would be, you know, more of an impact player, and I talked to Luke about it on Thursday. We just had a little brief chat. So no, not really. I just felt that we fetched the lad in. We asked for about another player at Queen's Park Rangers, to be honest with you, and he wasn't available, and they mentioned this lad, and we looked into it a little bit, and had a couple of reports about him, and went, you know, go on, like, you know, you've got to take in consideration that we've only got, you know, 19 players at the club, and we've got a situation like, you know, now, like, you know, you've had Adam Doyle suspended, and you've got Aaron Howe suspended now, and then you look at Mark Ricketts out with the situation. Hopefully he'll be back over the next 2 or 3 weeks, and you've got, you know, Dale Binns who's been out, you've got Paris Cowan who's out, you've got Jay Davis out with shin splints. All of a sudden our 19-man squad's gone down to 14, and what do you do there? You know, we don't want to panic and start fetching loads of players in, and we have inquired about players, and you know, the money what the clubs have been asked in, they say there's a recession out there, but you can see why, you know, there's problems at football clubs, because as I say, ridiculous money we've been asked, but as I say, we've turned around and stuck with what we're working with, and we got 1 or 2 young players in round us, and hopefully they're hungry and take us in the right direction.
And you've sent Giuseppe Sol on loan out to Basingstoke, presumably the idea to give Jez games.
Yeah, it's one of them things with Jez. He's a good player, he's a lovely lad, but you know, Jez wasn't in the team really when we were flying. We say the words flying when the results, you only lose 1 game in 24, and being fair to Jez, he was fully aware that the team's doing well. He understands that, and I just felt that just over the last week or 10 days, I had a look at the situation and thinking to myself, look, he's only played 1 game since November the 24th, and that's not enough. So what I turned around and had a chat with Jez, we both agreed that for a month, go out to Basingstoke, which I think is a team who's going to push for points. They've got 7 games in that month, so hopefully Jez can enjoy his football, and he'll become a fitter and a better player for us with a final push on.
And talking of pressure, Gary, Dartford won 6-0 today, so they're very much keeping the heat on us. Are you aware of that as a manager and as a team?
Yeah, I'm aware of that, you know, and all credit to Dartford and Tony Berman and Steve Mosley and all their players. Like, I've seen them play actually. I've seen them play the other night against Staines, and they work very, very hard. And they're going through that spell of a lot of confidence and a lot of belief at the moment. All credit to them, you know. You always got to turn around and respect every club who's, you know, putting good runs together, and they've done brilliant. And you know, but I'll sooner be in our position than theirs. You know, they've got them games in hand which they can turn into points, and it makes it interesting. But as I say, we've got more games to play in respect before we play Dartford. But next one, as far as I'm concerned, is next week Dorchester at home. So all we've got to turn around and do is get a good crowd down at Kingfield. And you know, sport's been brilliant, and there was here today at Boreham Wood. But it's a massive part now that our following will be the extra man that takes over the line. I'm sure of that.
Lovely, thank you very much, Garry.
Cheers.